because I'm an empath, I could feel everybody else's pain and their struggles, and I had to do something that was going to help. And I didn't really know at the time what that was going to be, but I actually had to teach myself how to use WordPress and how to build a marketplace. But I was able to do it in a month, and created a very basic marketplace for people. And it just took off so well, because 4 years in, I did get to the point where I actually had to sell the company, because I've learned a lot during that time. And I'm hoping that some of the things that I've learned, I can help what I call the kindpreneurs, which are, so people will buy eco-friendly things, but people only buy it if they know.
Hello everybody, this is Shweta Dalvi and welcome back to another amazing episode of the Climapreneur show. We are back again with another powerful conversation. Our guest today is Karen Thomas, the founder of Kindshop. Hi Karen, welcome to the Climapreneur show. I'm so excited to have you here. Today I was actually...
Did we do that bit?
That's a great start. That's a great start. Okay. So,
No. Come on. Sit nice. Come on. Good boy. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay.
I have 2 dogs. Come on. Come on, sit nice. No. Sorry.
It's okay. Okay, Karen. So, today I was actually sort of scrolling our chats, and I found out that last year in the month of August, we were actually talking about, doing something together. And then here we are, 1 year later, we're actually collaborating and doing this podcast. So this is so amazing to me, you are one of the people who had really been with us from the start of the journey of Climapreneur, when the podcast didn't even exist. And it's very special to me today to have you here today. And as you say, that you are an empathetic entrepreneur whose passion is supporting other social entrepreneurs who are using their business as a force for good. How powerful is that? Welcome to the show, Karen.
Well, we think very alike, don't we? And it's just lovely to finally meet you. Well, meet you over Zoom. Yeah, it's lovely.
Thank you, Karen. Karen, actually, I'm gonna start with, I was reading about your venture, Conscious Crafties, and my goodness, Karen, this is the cause was so amazing. What you're trying to do with Conscious Crafties, it's amazing, and kudos to you for doing that, for thinking about that. I would really like to know, let the viewers and listeners know what Conscious Crafties is, how it was established, and your journey with Kindshop. Kindshop / Kindpreneurs.
Yeah. So Conscious Crafties was the very first venture that I had, and I was thrown into it because I was just overnight I became disabled with lots of rare, incurable chronic illnesses. So I was actually bedridden for a year before they discovered what was wrong with me. And then various diagnoses have come after that. And I'm on lots of medication now, but life is still really tough. And what I found was the thing that got me through was being able to chat to people online who had also got sick. Many people also didn't have diagnoses at the time. And what we shared was that we had lost a lot of understanding from friends or family. And I'd lost a lot of friends because people just did not understand, because I look fairly the same as I did before. I put on a bit of weight, but I kind of look quite the same, and I look quite healthy. So people do not expect me to not fail, but not be able to perform in the same way that other humans can. And I felt very much out of it. So I became very close to these people who were also going through exactly the same thing as me, as we often do when we share experiences with others. And what we found is that we all lost friends. A lot of us lost jobs. So I was medically retired before I was 40. And a lot of people had lost those friendships. So it was very, very difficult. Alongside that, you lose your sense of purpose because you've lost your job.
Yes.
If you lose friendships, people gain a lot of purpose by having those friendships. Um, and a lot of the time, even if you don't lose those friendships, you were very helpful before. You did a lot of things for lots of people in the way that I did. I was always running around helping people, and I'm not able to do that in the same capacity anymore. So we lose a sense of purpose with those friendships as well. So what I also found is that these new friends that I had found who were very sick themselves had turned to craft and started making handmade things as a form of therapy and a way of feeling that they can still do something, whether that be from their bed or, um, I wanted to help these people because a lot of people were so, so talented. It was incredible the stuff that they were creating, but they had no way of getting themselves out there. They didn't know about setting themselves up as a business, they didn't know how to gain customers. So I wanted to create a way to get them seen. So because of my background in the e-commerce world, I knew how to do this. So I built a website, and I hadn't really built websites before. My job role was a business analyst, so I helped um, create specs for lots of developers who could code to then create the website. So I actually had to teach myself how to use WordPress and how to build a marketplace. But I was able to do it in a month and created a very basic marketplace for people. And it just took off so, so well because everybody really needed it. And as part of their online shop on the marketplace, we also had an amazing community of people who were going through the same thing, who suddenly became able to reach other people who were, experiencing huge struggles in their life, and they could feel understood. I think a lot of us, if we talk about our sickness a lot, it's quite boring to other people, and people get get exasperated with hearing about somebody being sick all the time. I had lots of friends say, "How come you're still sick?" And just being really fed up with it. But we could always talk about our illnesses and what's going on with us. Not in a way that is boohoo poor me, but it's, I just really need somebody to understand what I'm feeling right now. And that was the beating heart of Conscious Crafties, and that's the thing that really kept me going and kept everybody else going, alongside all of the happy dances when we got sales and sharing in each other's joy for that as well. So it was a pretty special thing, and I'm so, so glad that I did it.
Karen, it's like I don't even have words for it. Like when you yourself were going through so much, and at that point, I can understand like how difficult it might have been for you, like because you were going through something, and the way you actually stood up at that point of time, making sure that other people who are going through the same thing, you're able to empower them. Like Karen, I do not have words for, for what you did. And, we often say that it's difficult, things are not working, but look at you, the way you've actually embraced that thing. Karen, like, it
Oh,
must
thank
have been
you.
difficult. Like, did it like brought a lot of tears to your eyes? Did it brought a lot of questions to you that why are people not understanding when we talk about empathy, when we talk about all these things? Did it bother you at some point of time? And during those times,
Mm.
what actually gave you the courage? What was your anchor to start Conscious Crafties?
It was I literally did not have a choice about building it because I'm an empath. I could feel everybody else's pain and their struggles, and I had to do something that was going to help. And I didn't really know at the time what that was going to be, but I just had to, because it was it was just burning into my soul. It was just so heartbreaking to see everybody struggle. So I knew I had to do something. I did half kill myself doing it, I have to say. And it, 4 years in, I did get to the point where, I actually had to sell the company because it had grown so quickly. There was almost 400 sellers, and I had got so poorly trying to run it. I was blacking out, running it, rolling over in bed. So one of my conditions is, I can't stand still for very long without blacking out because my heart can't quite cope with getting the blood back to my brain. So yeah, when it got to the point where I was blacking out in bed, I realised, I probably need to do something. And perhaps I should have realised before that point. But I desperately needed help, and I'd run out of funds completely. So when I worked, I had a very, very good job and a very good income. And obviously, being medically retired, I wasn't able to support running the website anymore. Um, and I didn't charge people enough to be on there. It was just £4 a month, which was like nothing. And the first 2 years, it was nothing. It's free. So it was very difficult financially for me. So I put it up for sale, and then I got like 50 people all wanting to buy it, even though it wasn't something it just started to make a profit at that point, but it was a very small profit. But because of the ethos behind it, because it was very much a caring, considerate, changing people's lives type company, a lot of people were interested. So I interviewed a lot of people, and I couldn't quite find the right people to take it over. And then Mike and Hannah came along, and they were just such a great couple, and they really cared and understood about sickness, even though they weren't sick themselves. They have somebody in their friendship group who has muscular dystrophy, so they understood what that meant. And so they had the empathy, but they also had the talents. So Hannah is very good in marketing, and Mike is very good with the architecture of websites. So, and they brought so many ideas, and they were so excited about it that I immediately knew that they were the right people to take it forward. And I'm just very grateful that I was able to choose the right people to take it forward. And then I took a year off to really focus on my health. I worked with a health coach, and he helped me develop lots of different ways in which I could care for my own health and take the breaks when I needed to. I still struggle a little bit with that because I'm such a workaholic, but I do listen to my body a lot more. And I think it's so important for all of us to do that, regardless of whether we're struggling with chronic illness. I think it can be something that can creep up on people, and it's something that we are all susceptible to, and we can quite literally burn out very, very quickly because we are so passionate about making changes in the world. So I've learned a lot during that time, and I'm hoping that some of the things that I've learned I can help the what I call the kindpreneurs, which are our sellers, help them to keep going, look after themselves, and not get into the situation where I got, where I was just too poorly to continue running my purposeful business.
What is like the heart and soul of Kindpreneur or Kindshop? And
Mm.
like it's when you started it like after a year, how is like how has actually your learnings from conscious crafties helped you build Kindshop?
Well, when I built Conscious Crafties, I basically knew nothing really. I mean, I obviously I knew about SEO, and I knew about e-commerce and things like that, but I knew nothing about starting a marketplace whatsoever. So because I've got 4 years knowledge of that, it has been, I wouldn't say easier, but I knew what to build and what actually helps people.
Yes.
So with Conscious Crafties, I added lots of features that were quite nice to have, and perhaps cost me a lot of money, and a lot of time and energy building them. And they weren't things that were actually going to make any money at all. So I very quickly got myself into the situation where I spent so much money on the website that making it all very nice and fancy, um, and I was basically draining myself of any funds. So I learned that, I need to make sure that all of the features that I add are going to have some sort of return, not just for me, but for future investment to help other people be successful in their own business. Um, so yeah, a lot of things that I added on Conscious Crafties were quite fun to have. I added a map of where all the other crafties were, which was very good for Conscious Crafties, I think, because they could see that one of my goals was to ensure that every crafty had another crafty, those are the sellers, the crafties, within 30 minutes of each other, so that people actually met in person, and it was lovely. Um, but there's different things that work for different platforms, and what I found is that a lot of people are quite seasoned entrepreneurs in Kindshop and perhaps don't need the same sort of love and care that the crafties needed and attention. So yeah, I've struggled a little bit with that actually, because I felt so needed running Conscious Crafties, and the Climapreneurs don't quite need me quite so much. So I am struggling a little bit with that, because I want to help everybody. But I think I still do a really good job of helping people with their businesses, but maybe not so much with the emotional side, because people don't need, sorry, my dog, don't need it quite so much. So the things that I've really learned is to look after myself and to build Kindshop in such a way that some of the things run themselves. So I've introduced lots of automation. So when I sold Conscious Crafties, I actually did probably about a year handover with the new owners, because there was so much to hand over and to teach them. So I created a handover hub with lots of videos of how to do certain things. But what I also did was build in lots of automation to make it easier for them to run it, so that they didn't kill themselves doing it too. So what I've done is I brought that automation into Kindshop, which is what I should have done for myself with Conscious Crafties. And what I've also done is teamed up with lots of experts. So these are experts and coaches who only work with purposeful businesses. So they have created various courses for the Kindshop within our Kind classes for our Kindpreneurs to take these courses and help them run their businesses. So with Conscious Crafties, I was doing all the courses myself, various courses and things like social media, SEO and things like that. Whereas now we've got the experts doing that. I still do a few courses myself in the topics that I am experts in, but we've got lots and lots of courses, in mindset, in how to think about money, how to get found on social media, how to work with your branding, all things like that, that are actually much better than the courses that I created for Conscious Crafties. And because of my loyalty to the Crafties still, all of the courses that are in the Kindshop, the Crafties also get access to as well. So I feel as though I'm still giving back to the people who really helped me start my first business.
Like this is amazing actually. And like the point that you earlier mentioned, that when you didn't have like enough funds and you didn't know that how will you continue. So, when funds were draining out, at that point of time, did you ever feel like, what should I be doing now? Should I, like, will I be able to run it? Will I be able to, scale it to a level? Because somewhere, like the trust of all the people, like you call them kindpreneurs, they have their trust in you. So did you
Mm-hmm.
feel that, how, what I'm going to do, like, will it scale up, or if I don't have money, do I have to shut it down? Did you had all those thoughts, all those moments of doubt?
Yeah, not so much with the Kindshop, because I've been more sensible with the pricing structure. It's still very affordable, but as long as I can have a comfortable, I don't need to be rich or earn as much as what I did before. I think that would be pretty impossible, to be honest, running your own business. But as long as I'm comfortable, I'm absolutely fine. And as long as I've got money to put into marketing and new features and things like
Yes.
that. But with Conscious Crafties, I was in such a desperate state. because the only money that I bring in is obviously disabled benefits. So it was very, very difficult and super, super scary. Like one Christmas, our heating broke, so we didn't have any hot water or heating, for like 3 months over Christmas because we just couldn't afford to get it fixed. It was very, very difficult. Um, and there was so many times that I just thought I just can't do this anymore. Um, so there was one point where when I wasn't charging, and I was thinking I'm going to have to close it, and I'm going to have to take something away from all these people that I've given to over all these years, and that they've invested in as well, because obviously they've listed their products and they've gained their customers through Conscious Crafties, and I was terrified of having to take that away from people. And obviously, when I got sick as well, so I was sick, I had no money. Um, I did a live in the Conscious Crafties group and just saying, I just can't do this anymore. And I think I cried through the entire video, telling people where I was up to. Sorry, he's my assistant's dog, but you can't train the dog out of the dog. Um, and Teddy. And yeah, so I was in such a desperate stage, which nobody should ever get into when they're trying to run a purposeful business. So this actually happened a couple of years before I did it. I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know what to do. I might have to close because it's just not feasible financially. And they then forced me to start charging them a membership fee, so that with their membership fees I could continue to pay for the hosting and all of the expenses that come with a marketplace. It's hugely expensive. um so that enabled me to carry on for an extra couple of years. And then
Yes.
it was, what happened to me was, my sickness. I just couldn't cope because it was a worldwide website, so I was constantly being contacted by the crafties to try and help them and support them emotionally and with their shops and sales. And it just got way too much because I wasn't sleeping either, because I was wanting to be there for people all of the time. So yeah, I got in such a desperate state, and I think it's the same for a lot of us, regardless of whether we're sick or not. That it's very easy to go from I'm managing to I really can't do this anymore and doubting yourself.
Like I would like really like you to actually, talk to us about what is Kindpreneur, what is
Yeah.
Kindshop, like, and how have you actually kept planet at the heart of all your actions?
So Kindshop is I've basically lived sustainably for decades. So I started, using chemical-free skincare and cleaning products, like 20 years ago. And mainly the reason I think the environmental side wasn't such a big deal at the time, 20 years ago. I'm actually allergic to lots and lots of things, so I eliminate as much as I can chemicals from my life. But what I discovered is that, as you start learning more and more about the climate, I suffer from climate anxiety, and I've actually got a blog on about that on the Kind Shop. And I
Yes,
think a lot of
eco
us
anxiety,
do.
right?
Yes. Um,
I read that blog.
yeah. Oh, did you? Oh, that's very lovely of you. And I think a lot of us suffer from that. But I think sometimes in our own friendship circles, and family, perhaps they don't realize what's going on, and the harm that humans are doing to the planet. And I think we can all start feeling quite alone in our journeys to be more environmentally friendly. So I you know, I was very lucky in that I was able to meet other people who were also trying to change the world and make it a better place. And I wanted to bring all of these people together. So a lot of people have set up their own business, their own little small business, which is, providing eco-friendly products. And as you know, the Kind Shop isn't just climate; it also has, there's 9 values on there, and we focus on kindness, mental health, reducing poverty, creating communities, ethical and fair, all sorts of things. But at the heart of it is, the climate side, because we need to all be kind to the planet. Um, and I just wanted to really help these people who were making change. Um, because it's just so important that these people can make a sustainable business. So, not just sustainable for the environment, but sustainable for themselves as well, and to be able to reach those
Right.
customers. And I thought long and hard before setting up another marketplace, because it's such damn hard work, as you know yourself. It is
Yes.
consumes all of your time and energies.
Mm.
And that's why I built it in a very different way, so that I do get support in, creating the shop, so that I don't end up in the same position, because I want to be here and around to support the kindpreneurs as much as I possibly can. So the basis is obviously the marketplace where people can list their products, but they get a lot of help and support when it comes to search engine optimization. Just let me take a drink, I won't be a sec. Sorry, I have to drink a lot of water because of my conditions. I get dehydrated so quickly. So I wanted to make sure that I was supporting everybody with their SEO, so that their products could get found. And it's surprising how some people will list their products, so they won't talk about any of the benefits. So people will buy eco-friendly things, but they will only buy it if they know that this product is at least the same as other non-eco products, or better than what they're using at the moment. And they tend
Yes.
to be a little bit more expensive as well. So people really want to hear about the benefits. So a focus on, not just the SEO, but also making it really appealing for customers and expressing all those benefits to their products. And I think people can be really shy about talking about all of the great things that they're actually doing. So on every product on the Kindshop, we have a tab which is the Kindpreneur story. So that really talks about their benefits, and the history about why they set up this company, and all of the good things that they are doing and giving back to the world. So I think that really, really helps them to get sales, because I have a lot of analytics on the website, so I can see what customers are doing. So I take a snapshot of videos of what people are actually doing, so I can watch those videos to see how they're reacting to products and things. And a lot of people read people's stories, and it's just so lovely to see. And I had the same with Conscious Crafties as well. Obviously, they shared their story about their illnesses and what inspired them to create their company. Um, and it's just lovely to see that people are actually interested in knowing more about the kindpreneurs. And also, as well as help and support with their product listings, and perhaps being a sounding board for ideas as well. I'm quite good with ideas, so I can immediately see great things that people could do with their business, or to change their products in a certain way that's going to be more appealing. But I also have the Kind Club, which is where we can all come together and chat to each other, um, and collab as well. So a lot of the kindpreneurs have set up collabs. So there's a lady who makes natural soaps, and another lady who crochets soap savers. So they have collaborated together so that they can sell their products together. So, sorry. So they collaborated.
It's okay.
No, no. Come on, quieten down. Settle. Sorry. So the kindpreneurs have been able, sorry, the kindpreneurs have been able to
It's
collaborate.
okay.
Sorry, lots of editing for you. I'm sorry. The kindpreneurs have been able to collaborate, so they sell their products as bundles together. And we have, various. We have a lady who is a mental health illustrator, so she raises awareness of mental health issues. So she has some of her designs on some organic cotton tops and also some recycled bottle tops, which another Climapreneur prints for her. So yeah, it's really exciting seeing everybody come together. And of course, we have the kind classes where myself and experts have created these classes to help and support people in their businesses. And they're all quite short and easy to understand courses, so they don't need to spend a lot of time and energy doing lots of courses, because I think a lot of us are course addicts. And I don't know if you're like myself, but I have literally bought hundreds of courses because I'm a bit of a learning addict. But then you then have the problem of being able to have the time and energy to be able to take those courses. So these are very short courses containing golden nuggets. Yeah, so the Kindshop is, all about, the marketplace, helping people to reach those conscious consumers that we're bringing to the website, help them with their SEO, the benefits of their products, but also have the Kind Club so that everybody can come together and actually talk to other kind entrepreneurs about their struggles and collab. And then we have the Kind classes as well, which help and support everybody in their business and gives them lots of tools to enable them to keep running their business. We also have a mindset section in the Kind classes, which focuses on mindset, but also looking after your health as well. Because obviously, I'm very passionate about ensuring that people really do take care of their mental health and also their physical health, so that they can continue to do great things in the world.
That's amazing, because I also feel that collaboration is actually the key. And I think that the point, actually the way that you feel connected to what you're doing really helps you, come up with innovations. And because you can actually understand what the other person needs, what the other person feels. And for you, this is not just a business, this is a purpose where you're trying to, sort of like align your purpose with your business goals. And like, this is amazing. Like, Karen, I would like to know that, for example, for someone who is wanting to start an e-commerce, for someone who does not have enough funds, what would be your advice to that person? For someone who does not know anything, like say SEO, digital marketing, and all other aspects. So, what would be your advice for that person to start an e-commerce business?
Yeah, so if they have products to,
Specifically for sustainable products.
yeah, so they need to test the market, absolutely. So I have a product myself, which is um, a meditation bench, which is made out of recycled furniture and recycled fabrics. So what I did when I set up that company was I tested the market. So I actually just put a few on eBay, and they went straight away. So I was like, oh, I'm onto something here. So you can test your product on various marketplaces, whether that be the Kindshop or Etsy or eBay, just to see if
Right.
people actually like it. But it might be, if you're not successful that way, it might be that the product needs some tweaks. You need to do some customer research to find out what people actually want. Ask them about your product. Ask your friends and family, what do you think? Because a lot of people go into this just thinking, oh, I've got this great idea. Let's make this, and don't do any research at all. And that is so so important. And like I said, I have so much analytics on the website, but I also run surveys as
Yes.
well to try and ensure that I don't have all the ideas myself. You have to learn from your customers and potential customers. So that would be the first thing. And then if you join the Kindshop, obviously you don't need to know all of the SEO and things like that, and marketing so much, because we help you with that. But a lot of marketplaces will also do that too. So it's about just testing the market. You don't have to have your own website initially. Because one of the mistakes I made when I set up Conscious Crafties was I spent money on, business cards and vinyl stickers for my car and all of the things that really you don't actually need. Um, and
Yes.
I spent quite a lot of money on Facebook advertising as well, and that can completely drain your funds. So I would say that we do have an SEO course in the Kind classes, but anybody can teach themselves SEO, and I think it is essential if you have your own website, but also for social media as well. So to help you get found on social media, obviously you need hashtags, but Instagram is also their search is now working on your caption. So the wording that you put within that caption is actually
Yes.
searchable now. So I think they're rolling it out to various countries. So it might not be where you guys are at the moment, but it's so important to ensure that you're putting the right keywords in there and you've done the right keyword research as well. So I have, some paid SEO tools, but the course within the Kind classes is using free tools on how to gather those captivating keywords so that you can get found not only on your own website, not only on the marketplace, but also in your social posts as well. So, I'm just about to release actually a list of all of my research. So every campaigner that comes on board, I will research their product and see what the best performing sites are using for their keywords, so that they are very search for terms and also long tail keywords as well. And I've created, a document with all of these keywords in, but I'm actually going to release it into the Kind classes so that people can search for their product and see what all those keywords are. So not only do I help them with the SEO, but they've got those keywords there to then be able to use that within their social media as well. So that's really, really important. So I would say research for customers and learning about SEO, even just the basics, is absolutely essential. And both of those things are free. So focus on the things that are going to not drain your funds and are going to be really beneficial. Also, having press releases as well, which are obviously another free thing. So start with local, papers and radio stations to get yourself out there. It's quite difficult being visible. I myself, I'm a very shy person, so it's very difficult for me to put myself out there. But I actually had some courses with an amazing coach called Josie who focuses on
Mm.
anxiety and getting yourself visible. So she actually worked with me, and I'm somebody who does not like being in front of the camera whatsoever. But she got me to enable me to do lives when I was running Conscious Crafties, and that completely changed our business because I got myself out there and people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So if you put your face out there and you're a genuine person, which I'm sure everybody listening to this is, then people will buy from you because they get to know you. So that's very, very important. So it's working on your confidence, getting yourself out there, doing lots of radio stations and press releases, things like that can totally transform your business.
Thank you for sharing that, Karen. I'm like still trying to absorb all the insights and information that you have shared, because like building our marketplace as well. So like initially also you were an inspiration for me and the marketplace that we are running, and now also. And like thank you for sharing this information. I'm sure that's going to help a lot of people out there. And yes, so like before we continue, we have Vagish with us. So he would like to ask you a question. Vagish, you can unmute yourself, give a brief introduction, and you can ask a question to Karen.
Okay, good evening, ma'am. I am Bhagesh Gupta, currently studying in my 12th class with commerce as my majors. The main question which come in my mind is, ma'am, there is a myth in the market that entrepreneurships normally loses money and take a lot of resources. Is that true?
So, yeah, so that's a very good question because people do not realize how much funds you actually need to set up a business. So, uh, it is a very, very difficult road to go down. Um, and it's something that I would only say to do if you absolutely have to do it. Like your heart is calling, your heart and soul is calling you to do
Yes.
something wonderful in the world and be an entrepreneur and make a big difference, because that spirit is what will keep you going. Because it's very difficult to make money in, especially in the environmental or ethical field. Um, it's a long road before things actually turn around and become quite profitable for you, in most cases. So I would absolutely, like I said before, look at anything free that you can do. Don't waste money on silly things, that I did, which aren't absolutely essential. So, I mean, I do this myself because I'm a conscious consumer, and I would advise every entrepreneur to do this, but also our customers as well. So, if they visit the website and they see something that they absolutely love, what I always do is ask myself, do I absolutely need it? And I also sleep on it. And then if I wake up first thing in the morning, that's the first thing on my mind, then I will purchase it. But so I would say that anything that you purchase in your business, that you need to really, really think about, do I absolutely need this? Is it going to bring me money? Is it going to transform my business? Um, and just, yeah, do not waste money on things that are nice to have. Always have um, some sort of justification, and not something that you can make up in your mind, because we can all do that. We can all say, oh, I have to have it. But make sure that you do have, you always put your business sense hat on, and you make sure that that thing is really going to make a difference to your business, and just don't waste money. um, and of course, looking down the ways of doing things that are free. So you know you can, you know, doing a survey is obviously something that's free. Um, and you can gain so much market research from doing that. You're not having to pay somebody to do the market research for you. You're just putting a survey out there, and every one of us can create a little survey, free survey online.
But I think that what you mentioned is like so important, and like I think spending money the right way is important, because I think I was in a podcast with someone. He actually mentioned this thing that thinking about money will not get you money. Doing something will actually get you money.
Mm-hmm.
And what one thing that I feel, I might be wrong on this, Karen, like I feel that when you are working on limited resources, it actually pushes you to think out of the box. Because
So it
for
does.
example, for me
Mm-hmm.
myself, I'm working on like very limited resources and finances. Yes, like it's not, I don't have like a broad range of finances. So yes, it really pushes me out to think out of the box. So
Yeah.
it doesn't allow me to, like spend money in, like maybe for example we say that Facebook ads and Google ads and all these things, like they are necessary, but like when you are running low on funds, it actually helps you to think, okay, what else can I do? Because
Yes.
I think
Mm-hmm.
that is where innovation really happens.
Yes. It's where the magic happens, isn't it? It's
Yes.
I absolutely love thinking of Kindshop or any business venture, that this is an experiment of doing things in a really economical way. So I mean, I live my life like that, in that, I justify every purchase that I make, but um, I'm quite inventive. I think it sparks ideas, doesn't it, of how you can do things very, very cheaply
Yes.
or free. Um, so one of the things that I've just done actually is, because it, as you know, it takes so much time and effort to run any sort of business. I've actually found a website called We Make Change, and these
Okay.
are lots of students. I don't know if you've seen the figures, but for millennials, 70% of millennials want to work for a company that is doing something good in the world. So they really want to have purposeful, meaningful work.
Yes.
So the We Make Change website is to allow millennials and students, who have just finished their course, to gain experience in purposeful businesses. So I have a job advert on there for various things that I need help with. So, and I have been inundated by volunteers wanting to help so that they can gain experience. So I've actually employed four volunteers. Two are helping me with social media and they're coming up with such great ideas. It's absolutely fantastic. It's really opening my eyes because obviously, I'm almost 50. So getting a young, um, um,
You're
spirited
50,
idea,
Carrie. You don't look like
or
you're
almost.
50.
I'm 47 next
I
birthday.
thought, I honestly thought you were like 25 or 26. I'm not
No.
even kidding.
Yeah, oh God. Well, that's one of my
I didn't know
conditions
you were
actually.
50.
Yeah, I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So it affects all your ligaments, but it also affects skin as well. So it's a collagen condition. So a lot of us who have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, look a little bit younger. But yeah, I certainly don't look in my 20s. I look a bit haggard at the minute. So yeah, so I'm bringing all of this youth into the company, and also I'm giving back to them, in various things so that they can pursue their career in a purposeful business going forward, because it will look really good on their CV to have worked for Kindshop. Yeah, so we're learning off each other and it's absolutely lovely. I'm
Yes.
loving it. Another lady is helping me. She's going to be writing environmental blogs. And another lady is going to help me to find new kindpreneurs to join Kindshop. So yeah, it's working wonderfully. And,
That's lovely.
yeah, it's a good way to give back as well to those people who really need the
Yes.
experience as well.
So, Vagish, like, does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, and I have one more question.
Uh-huh.
Like in the hard times when we are in college and doing our studies, how to find the best mentor apart from teachers?
Okay. So my best mentors are what I call friendpreneurs. So these are people who are very like-minded and are wanting to do similar things to me in the world. So what I found in the ethical world and eco world is that people collaborate because they tend to be kinder people. So it's finding those people who you really click with, regardless of the fact, if they're doing a similar thing to yourself, you can really help and support each other. And so
Yes.
every single day I'm talking to my friendpreneurs, whether that be on WhatsApp or Zoom, um, and they completely keep me going because self-doubt, no matter who you are, will always creep in. So it's finding those people who don't doubt you, um, don't shun your ideas. These are people who really believe in what you want to achieve, understand the battles, both emotionally and financially, to enable you to get out there and you can do things together. So I also have accountability buddies as well. So like once a month we will say, this is what I want to achieve this month, and they will tell you what they want to achieve. So you check in with each other, every few days, like how are you getting on this goal? So it might be a short term or a long term goal. What have you done today that is going to bring you forward to reach that future goal? What are you doing with your lifestyle to be the future self that you want to be? All sorts of things
Yes.
like that. And obviously, all of that is free, but it's finding those people. But social media has opened up all of our worlds. A lot of my friends, I haven't even met in person, but we chat every single day. So it's finding those things. And, I have also paid for mentors as well. So, I don't have much funds myself, but it's very, very good to work with a coach for a short period of time, who can really keep you on track with all of your goals and help you with any sort of emotional blockages that you might have, which block your business, because they always will do. So, mentally, you have to really look after all of those doubts that will creep in, because you have to be resilient enough to continue with your business because it's bloody hard work. It really is. Um, and just having those people around you, whether that's the coaches or the friendpreneurs or accountability buddies, really helps you to continue in your business and continue with your dream as well.
Yeah, I like them.
I would also block out anybody who isn't supportive of you as well. So, that can be quite difficult sometimes, can't it? But you will be able to identify those people really quickly if they're not being supportive. Some people are genuinely, they just really care about you and they might be giving you constructive criticism, which is great. But there are also people who are really, you know, big downers and they will bring you down too. And it's basically, in a very kind way, break off those friendships so that they're not affecting, your mental health and your ability to do great things in the world.
Thank you, Vagesh. Thank you for joining us today. And I hope that answers your questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
I'm
you.
absolutely blessed by your advices.
Oh,
Thank you,
thank you.
Vagesh. So, my last question to you would be, Karen, like, not actually question, I would like to say that you've actually built something whose cause is beautiful, the purpose is beautiful, and like, there is something that every time, I'm not even kidding, every time I open Kindpreneur's Instagram page or your website, it reflects the kind of efforts you have put into, it reflects the kind of purpose you have put into. And thank you so much, Karen. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for inspiring so many people. And thank you for, being empathetic. Thank you for understanding everyone's, what they are feeling. And thank you for taking everyone together. I always say this one thing, that together we can and together we will. And I feel that with climate action, like, I feel that it's a beautiful feeling. It's magical because it has the power to connect all of us. And the same thing that today you mentioned, that kindpreneurs are very kind, like, they understand each other, they collaborate. Thank you so much for doing that, Karen. Thank you for not giving up. Thank you
Oh,
so much for believing in
oh,
yourself, for believing in us. You
oh,
are
thank
amazing,
you.
and I'm extremely, extremely, extremely proud of you, Karen.
Oh, thank you. That's such a lovely thing
Thank
to
you.
say. And I think we should thank everybody who's listening for not giving up, for following
Yes.
their dreams and doing something great in the world.
So, everyone who is listening, please, or who is viewing, please appreciate yourself. You are
Hmm.
special. You made this to this point and you will make it further. And we are together in this. We ran this one initiative on Instagram. I think it was today only. By the time the episode goes live, it should be like a few weeks then. We said, like, we asked people to actually appreciate someone's work who they really admire or who they really like. And I was thrilled with the kind of responses I got. We had like "You Have My Back" campaign actually,
Oh,
and
that's
that was
lovely.
amazing. I would just say that everyone listening or viewing us, please, today, if you, or any day, if you feel that someone's work is inspiring you, love their hard work, you love their courage, please go tell them that, I love what you're doing. I think that sometimes, that text or that simple message could be the reason that that person does not give up on that day.
That
And
is
it is special.
perfect because I didn't do this with Conscious Crafties, but I did with Kindshop. So I have a little document which is just on Google Docs, which I call Magical Moments. And in there, I will screenshot any lovely comment that somebody's given me, and I just paste it in
Yes.
there. And then if I'm having a bad day, I can open up this Magical Moments document and remind myself as to why I'm doing this and who I'm helping.
Yes. Thank you, Karen. Thank you for being on the podcast. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.